What do one car, 6 different states, 8 different vendors, and 21 different parts all have to do with the proper repair? Hey, welcome back to the Airing of Grievances. My name is Eric Reamer. That's Robert Grieve. And, of course, thank you for taking time out of your day to join us for ours. Rob, that's a bowl full of spaghetti.
It sure is. Well, let's start with Happy Saturday.
To you.
My dear friends and newcomers, we appreciate all of you and your amazing comments.
Yes, indeed.
Likes and shares, and you're making the world go around for lots of people to give them a hand, that's for sure.
Yep.
So thank you for that in advance.
Now, Rob, we were talking before we came into the actual episode here, started filming. We were talking about, and you actually presented this question to me, you know, one car, 6 different states, 8 different vendors, and 21 different parts. And it sounds like, the beginning of a bad joke.
It really does. It really does. It's worse than 2 guys walk into a bar.
The second one said, ouch.
Yeah, something like that.
All right. Catch us up. What's going on with this, and what are we really talking about?
Florida, Michigan, Colorado, Pennsylvania, California, and Texas are home to all different parts for this one vehicle, which is, and then naturally some OEM, original equipment manufacturer parts from the dealer.
Okay.
Make up the balance of it. But imagine for a second, you're the shop and you have to call all these different states to order all these different parts and have them all arrive, pay for them ahead of time. And here's the thing about these parts. Not one of them is approved by Toyota for this vehicle. So let's talk about the vehicle for a second.
Okay.
This is really, really important stuff for people to understand of what's going on behind the scenes today when it comes to fixing your vehicle properly. The vehicle we're talking about today is a 2024, pretty much brand new, Toyota RAV4 hybrid.
Okay.
And it has roughly 12,000 miles on it. So it's
barely broken
new.
in.
Yeah, it's new. The insurance company, in this particular case, decided they're going to search all over the country for the cheapest parts available to fix this brand new vehicle, and with no care given to whether they are approved by the manufacturer or not. This is really important stuff for you, the consumer.
Yeah.
So if we repaired this vehicle the way State Farm wrote to repair it, it would be ruined, in my opinion.
Wow.
Ruined. And I'm going to walk you through why I'm saying that, and then you tell me if you agree or not.
All right.
All right. Now, keep in mind, the vehicle's got about 12,000 miles on it, and it's a 24. What is the warranty on this vehicle?
It's got to be at least 336.
It's 336. 3 years, 36,000 miles is the manufacturer's warranty on this. I don't know if there's an extended Toyota warranty on it or not. The same applies.
Sure.
The same applies. But it's more than just the warranty that we're talking about. So, reading through the estimate, we come to a section called the radiator support. And that's a bunch of welded in and bolted in pieces that house the radiator.
Among other things.
The AC condenser, the hybrid drive or inverter cooler.
Yeah.
Many things attached to this.
Okay.
So let's just show a picture.
Yeah.
This white piece that's going up and down.
Yep.
That's listed on here as a non-OEM so not a Toyota part, but it is a Kappa certified left side support that gets welded in.
I'm just going to interrupt you here. You said Kappa certified. Kappa is the certifying agency for aftermarket parts. And though that should add some measure of credibility, how often does Kappa decertify?
There's a list that comes out every week of decertified Kappa parts.
All right.
So, most important is when you're looking at your estimate, if you see this little S,
Yep.
that's a very, very important piece for you to understand. That little tiny S means that it is a structural part.
Okay. Integral to the proper operation of the vehicle.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, what the estimating system has to say about it is some parts that are bolted, bonded, or welded may add structural integrity to the vehicle's body. Very, very, very important. These parts are made up of different types of materials, and the vehicle dimensions must be correct before replacement. I mean, it's got to be all measured right to the millimeter.
Yep.
So it goes right in the right spot. If improperly repaired, road performance and crash worthiness of the vehicle may be affected. It goes on to say airbag deployment may also be affected.
Wow. And that's from CCC,
Yep.
the estimating software that both shops and insurers have access to and use to make their estimate.
In this particular case, the insurer uses CCC, and so do we.
Okay.
So it's got a little S there. It's structural. It should have an S with an exclamation point
Yeah,
because it's an important piece.
absolutely.
But their estimate calls for a non-Toyota piece. Something made in some other country somewhere.
All right.
And I want to go back to this picture, and I want to draw your attention to this black and yellow piece that's bolted onto that piece that they want to put on that is not a Toyota part.
Okay.
I mean, in this picture, it is a Toyota part.
Yes.
Because we've already repaired the vehicle.
I see.
But that is an airbag sensor.
Oh.
So would you want your airbag sensor attached to something that is not made by Toyota and welded in and needs to be under these strict measurements and all the rest of that? I don't think so.
I think the answer is a resounding no.
Yeah.
And we already know that if, God forbid, if another accident were to happen that would damage that non-Toyota part, would it, bend and give in the proper amount of time? A 1/100th of a second can make the difference.
Yes, it can. So the whole idea of not and God only knows where that piece is coming from. Maybe it's California or,
It's one of the six.
Yeah, it's one of the six. And that's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous way to do a repair. They're complicated enough as they are.
Yeah.
Now to add in going to all these different states
Right.
and ordering all these specific parts from all these non-Toyota places
Right.
is just mind-boggling.
I drew a picture that might help our viewers understand
What it should be,
what it should be, and
what it turns into.
It tries to be. Yeah.
And by the way, this whole squiggly thing,
Yeah.
that's affecting you as well as it's affecting us because it takes longer to repair the vehicle.
Right.
Many of you have rental insurance. There's a cap,
Yeah.
and this erodes that cap.
That cap being the limit of days that you have available rental
Yes.
covered by the insurance.
And I will say, in this particular case, we're on supplement number 4. So the initial estimate was written, then they came back out for sup 1, came back out for sup 2, came back out for sup 3, came back out for sup 4. That can be about a week for each one of those. So the rental's already used up, and the car is now just getting started.
Right. Meanwhile, you're trying to herd all the different parts from all the different places.
Well, you actually don't even order anything until you get to a place where it's enough to,
Yeah.
begin the repairs.
And when I say you try to herd, you don't, because we have a straight line between.
Yeah, we try to keep that line straight for you.
That's right.
But that doesn't mean that the other players don't want to make a bowl of spaghetti out of it.
It's true.
So I want to go back to warranties for a second.
Okay.
Because this is your brand new car.
Right.
And now it's got all this stuff on it that isn't from Toyota. And it gets addressed in the estimate here. And it says the following disclosure applies to those parts identified as non-OEM on the estimate. This estimate has been prepared based on the use of one or more crash parts supplied by a source other than the manufacturer of your motor vehicle. Warranties, if any, applicable to these replacement crash parts, are provided by the parts manufacturer or the distributor rather than the manufacturer of your vehicle.
It changes the entire dynamic.
So if one of these parts fails, do you contact somebody in California? Maybe in Florida?
Michigan is nice
Michigan?
this time of year.
Yeah. Michigan's getting nicer.
Yeah.
So I want to take a look at some of these parts.
All right.
Which again, there's plenty of them. And these will all be in your estimate. They have all different, it's towards the back of your estimate. They have to outline where they're getting them from and
Yep.
all the rest of that. But here we have a non-OEM, non-Toyota radiator.
Yep.
The thing that cools your engine.
Right. It's important
Non-Toyota.
for a brand new car.
Right. And now, nice that it's sourced right here in Denver.
Oh,
At AutoZone.
what? Did you say AutoZone?
Yes, so
Like
let's...
the same store that anybody can go to?
Well, you know what? I don't know if Pep Boys didn't have one in stock or Kmart didn't have a sale running on them. But AutoZone apparently has one. And there you have it. So that's what the insurer owes you per this contract.
There we get to the nitty gritty.
And there's no arguing with it.
Right.
Because this insurer also has no clause to arbitrate or to push back. So, we got a radiator coming from AutoZone, not us. That's what they're basing the settlement on.
Right.
Your settlement, this person's settlement. You go down a little further, they have a non-OEM inverter cooler.
Oh, I got a picture of that.
Yeah, so what's an inverter? That's your hybrid drive.
Right.
It's part of the whole hybrid system.
Yeah, it converts one type of electricity to a different type and spreads it out all over the
Does
car.
a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So the inverter cooler goes above the in the front of your car, attached to the radiator support, which
Yep.
is also made up of some non-OEM parts.
Right.
Right above the AC condenser, which is also not an OEM part. And this is a problem for you.
What could go wrong?
Let's just say, so we're going to get into warranties again.
Yeah.
This vehicle has a 3-year 36 factory warranty on it.
Right.
For Toyota parts. These parts from God knows where,
Right.
should this inverter cooler not sufficiently cool the inverter or damage the inverter, which is going to leave you on a road someplace, and hopefully that's all it is,
Oh,
because it's high voltage going into this inverter.
right.
That's what the big red, orange plugs are going in. That's all high voltage stuff. If you ever see those under you, open your hood and see those, don't touch them.
Don't touch.
Don't touch them. If that cooler damaged the inverter, and a big thing came on your display saying pull over, something's wrong, hybrid drive malfunction, whatever it might say,
Right.
you're going to call the dealer and you're going to get it over to the dealer. And if the dealer realizes that there is a non-OEM, non-Toyota part in there that could have damaged that inverter is not going to be covered under warranty, or may not be covered under warranty.
Yeah, your next call might be to the bank.
The inverter itself is over $7,000.
Oh,
Plus close to 10 hours at mechanical labor rate to put it in. It's a lot of money. It would not be covered under your warranty. The same as if the radiator, the non-OEM Toyota radiator, damaged your engine. Your engine would not be covered under the warranty. What are you supposed to do? Call somebody in Florida or Pennsylvania or Texas or,
wow.
This stuff is not for you folks. And this is why I say, should we have repaired this vehicle the way they've outlined, it would be a hunk of junk. It would be almost worthless.
Yeah, the question is a proper repair according to who?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because they're gonna stand by this estimate, and the policy, this is this person's policy. And it says in there that you and us agree that we can use these parts
Right.
in our repair estimate.
Yep.
And by paying your premiums, you've agreed to that.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, Rob, this again serves as a wake-up call to all of us to know what your policy says, and if it is not saying what you need it to say in order to be properly protected, maybe it's time to shop for a new insurer.
You may want to consider that because, we're talking about a car that had pretty severe damage.
Yeah.
With all the technology that's in the front of this vehicle being attached to non-technology copycat parts from another country.
Right.
This car would be destroyed.
Wow.
But the good news for you is that this particular company also will guarantee that they can bring it to a place that will fix it for what they allowed. But you're going to get it fixed this way. I'm not sure that's good news or not. But there's plenty of shops
that's good news
that will just do whatever the insurer says. And in this case, go all over the country buying parts to Band-Aid your brand new car back together. For the sake of saving the insurer some money, who has already jacked up your rates more than likely.
Right.
So,
wow,
it's out of control these days.
Well, that's a lot right there. And buyer beware. Make sure that you got somebody on your side. Somebody who knows the ins and the outs and the whys behind this. And speaking of wise, I don't know anybody wiser than you.
Oh, stop.
Rob, happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday to you. Folks, I hope you learned something. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments thing. We'll be happy to get back to you. We're here to help any way we can. But you really need to pay attention and be an active participant when you're getting your vehicle repaired today.
Yeah. If you like this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up.
Please.
And check out this one coming up next.